Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Steve Breach coming to you here with the San Francisco 49ers 2018 football preview. Obviously, the 49ers, we still got a few weeks of preseason football to kick off, as well as camp ending up, but who as a 49ers fan is not going to be excited for this year's year of football? Last year, the 49ers finished with, I believe, 5 straight wins after Jimmy Garoppolo getting underneath the center. It was a very, very fun way to end the season after seeing, C.J. Beathard out there. Really just getting run into the ground and really not having a whole lot to hope for. We got a win early on in the season, and then we just lost a lot of football games. The 49ers, they went on that little bit of a streak, and even though we were winning against teams that didn't really have a whole lot to play for, we did beat a Titans football team that was fighting for a playoff spot and really, put a dagger in their season. I think that was probably the biggest win that we got. Most people will point to that Rams game that we won at the end of the season, but let's face it, the Rams really weren't putting anybody out there to go up against us. There's a lot of people, pointing that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to help us win the West, help us win the division, help us go to the Super Bowl. I don't want to put the cart, before the horse and basically just say that we don't have a whole lot more to improve on, that we're really not at that point yet. I will say that I went out when I was in Reno on a weekend vacation. I did put $20 on the 49ers to win the West. I know that the Rams really built themselves up this year. They got one hell of a football team down there in Los Angeles. But, if any year is possible, this is one year that they really could win the West. I didn't want to go all in and basically say that they were going to go to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl, but that is something that could be a goal to really fight for. Even though getting a wild card berth into the playoffs really isn't something that you could stick your nose up at either. Any way we get in, at least we got a shot, and we'll see how good we really are moving on in the future. Everything really rests on Jimmy Garoppolo. Last year, when he got to play for us, he showed us that he was the heart of this football team, and that we do really have something to go out and play for. The offensive line that we've surrounded him for, we went out, we drafted Mike McGlinchey early on in the draft. We've always got Joe Stanley out there. He's really been out there for the last 11 years, really been the rock of that offensive line. We gave him a raise in the offseason, but we really can't be hoping that this guy is going to be around forever. But we'll see how really the good that offensive line is stacked up. In the backfield, we've got Jerick McKinnon coming in from Minnesota. He's going to be replacing Carlos Hyde. I'm not going to come out here and act like I watched the Minnesota Vikings a lot last year. I know that he had a really good year. I know that people are high on him coming into the Niners offense, basically saying that we've improved, but I never heard of this guy before last year. It seemed like last year he had one really good year running for the Vikings. Who really knows what's going to come for him? So, to me, honestly, he is one of the biggest question marks that we have out there. The wide receiving core is going to be led by Marquise Goodwin. We still have Pierce Garçon, which I was honestly excited about because I thought that when we brought Garçon in, he was only going to be here for 1 year last year. But he's going to be leading us out there on the field with that veteran leadership. Hopefully he can stay healthy this year, and you could recover from last year ending early on us. But as far as it is, Goodwin, really improved last season because of the fact that there was really nobody out there else running routes with him, and he's looked to be Garoppolo's number one receiver. This year, he's going to be looked at as more of a threat. And you might see some coaches actually circle that this guy's not going to catch balls on us. He's not going to be the guy that goes out there and beats us. So he might be widely scouted more and not be looked at as some sort of a a threat to go out there and beat them. So wide receivers to me, honestly, is a big question mark. When it comes to looking at the defense is something that the Niners always seem to build. However bad they are, the defense always seems to sort of be the bright light that we've got. When you think of the defensive line with Eric Armstead as well as DeForest Buckner, we've built this line over the past 3 years on the draft. This is going to have to be a put up or shut up year. I think that Eric Armstead, even though he is hurt right now, going out there with Salomon Torres, they got to be good. Armstead, I think, is coming up on a career year. It's going to be make or break for this guy coming out of Oregon. And I'm hoping that it might be one of the bright lights that we have out there. As far as when it comes to the linebacker core, we got Reuben Foster, who's going to be coming back. That was sort of a huge question mark for our team, whether these offseason legal woes were going to bring him down. But it looks like everybody's just basically welcomed him back with open arms. The woman came out and said that he didn't do what she said he did. And, the improvements that we made at the linebacking position, are just going to be bigger helps because of the fact that, he's going to be out there with us. To me, the 49ers, I can't remember how many years back. The one thing that we do right is that we know how to make linebackers. We know how to draft them. We know how to pick them. And that's never really going to be one of the problems that we have. You look at the defensive backs with Jimmy Ward. He's always been one of my favorite guys. Eric Reed. I don't understand why he's not back as a 49er. I know that they made those moves to move him into a linebacker. That really didn't make sense to me last year. But I guess they have this sort of NFL ban on anybody bringing in Eric Reed or Colin Kaepernick because of them leading the whole stance on kneeling for the anthem to kick off the game. It doesn't really make sense to me. I think that honestly, Eric Reed is a really good football player. It could help just about any team there is out there, and why the Niners aren't bringing him back, I don't understand. Specialty games, we're going to be having Robbie Gould kick those field goals again. He came up big for us the last 2 years. I was very outspoken about when the Niners brought him in, but I guess just let him kick until he can't do it no more. Why the Niners don't go out and find some sort of younger replacement that is going to be around longer, I got no clue. But I'm looking forward to a 49ers season. It's going to be coming up sooner than later. And hopefully the winning ways return to San Francisco.